So yesterday what we have discussed, have you got through that notes? Okay. So what we have discussed yesterday, which are the topics that we have covered? Okay, then firstly we have covered the types of sectors: primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary, quaternary and quinary sector. Okay, primary sector comes, which are the types of subsectors that comes under primary? Like which are the types of the sectors, like agriculture sector, mining sector, those are also the kind of sectors. Okay, in primary sector you will be finding the agriculture. This agriculture comes under primary sector. Then comes the mining, then comes forest and also the fishing. Okay, all these sectors comes under the primary sector. Okay, whatever the raw materials is extracted, that comes under the primary sector. Okay, related to the land. And this primary sector is also called as which collar job? Red collar job. Okay, and along with that, see, if any of the country, if it is having more than 50% of the national income, if they get from agriculture sector, then that economy is called as agrarian economy. Okay, if any of the country, okay, in any of the country, think that during independence, our India was agriculturist economy. Okay, agriculture based economy. Why? Because yes, around about 90 to 95% of our national income used to get from the agriculture sector. That's why India was called as agrarian economy during that time. Okay, next comes manufacturing sector. Manufacturing sector, in manufacturing sectors, which are the types of sectors we will be seeing here? Construction, then manufacturing industries. Okay, all that comes under manufacturing sector. Then third one comes the tertiary sector. In that, service sector like IT, banking, tourist, education, that all comes under service sector. Service sector is also called as which job? White collar. It represents white collar. Next comes the quaternary sector. This quaternary sector is also related to which one? Yes, tertiary sector, and also it is knowledge based sector, especially the education, R&D, that is research and development. Then quinary, the last one is quinary sector, and that is related to the high decision making. Okay, and whatever the CEOs of the private companies, and also then scientists and bureaucrats, all that comes under the quinary sector. Okay, and it represents gold collar job. Okay. Next comes the types of economy, that is capitalistic economy, socialistic economy and mixed economy. Okay, firstly, the capitalistic economy was implemented in which country? The USA and also the Western European. And after the crisis, after the Great Depression, then some of the other countries have adopted the socialist economy. This socialist economy was being successful in which country? Socialist economy was being successful in which country? China. But the Soviet Union, in Soviet Union, it was been failed actually due to the disintegration in 1990. Soviet, that is former USSR, and also China have adopted this model, this socialist model. But China was successful. Why it was been successful? Due to the open door policy that was been adopted during 1980s, 1985. Okay. And then comes the mixed economy. Okay. Which are the countries that they have adopted this mixed economy? India. Then most of the developing countries, they have adopted this mixed economy. And next comes the types of national income. Okay, the first one comes the GDP, next NDP, GNP, NNP, which is the purest form of national income. NNP, net national product. When we compare the ranking, when we compare the economy with the different countries, we will use the GDP. Okay, and what is the definition of GDP? Yes, the final value of goods and services that is produced within the country in a specific period, either by the citizens or non-citizens. Okay. Next, what is the formula of the GDP? Yes, formula of GDP is C plus I plus G plus X minus M. What does this C represents? Consumption, investment, government spending, export minus imports. Okay, what kind of method it is called as? Expenditure method. Okay, this is one of the important method for UPSC. Okay, and there are two types of methods, that is production method and also the income method. That is not much important for your IB. Only the thing is expenditure method is important for your tier 1 exam. Okay. The next comes the, what is the formula of net? Yes, gross minus depreciation. What does this depreciation means? Wear and tear of goods and services also. Wear and tear of especially the goods only. Okay. In developing country, the depreciation value will be more or either it will be less. It will be, in developing country, depreciation is more or less. It is more actually. Depreciation means reduction in the value of goods. Reduction in the value of goods means depreciation will be higher. Okay, see how. Let me give one example. Okay, the car that is whatever you are using in India, it is having the depreciation value only for 10 years. If the same brand car, if you are using in USA, then it will be round about, they will use it for 15 years. Okay, the wear and tear is less in USA. Since it is a developed country, the roads are smoother and they are well maintained in USA. The car will be having less wear and tear in USA than in India. Okay, means in developing country the depreciation value is higher. Just the loss. In developed country it is lesser. Understood? Okay. And this depreciation rate, whatever the percentage, that will be published by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Okay, just write down in a note. Depreciation is published by the Ministry of Commerce and Industries. Commerce and Industries. Understood? Okay. That is why we will not compare our economy in terms of NDP. Why? Because if you calculate this depreciation and give the ranking for India, the ranking will be lesser. Okay. In GDP, Okay. In terms of GDP, our India stands third, fourth. It is fourth. Okay. In terms of GDP, our India is standing fourth place. If you compare in terms of NDP, then our ranking will be 2 digit. Are you understand? That is why we don't compare in terms of NDP. We will compare only in terms of GDP. Okay. Then what is nominal and real GDP? Nominal GDP. Yes, it is calculated under current price. In current price, there will be inflation also included. Okay. Inflation will be included in the nominal GDP. In real GDP, calculated based on a base price. What is the base? Base year. Sorry, base year. This base year is 2011 and 12. Why they have chosen 2011 and 12? There was no famine, there was no drought, there was no flood, and there was no inflation. The major word we should use is there was no much inflation, and growth was good during that year. Okay, that is why we will choose that as a base year. Since they wanted to review this base year, see, this is already a 15-year-old data they are using till now. But in order to review that, in order to bring a new base year, in time of COVID, we couldn't bring or we couldn't adopt the new base year. Why? Because during COVID, there was no production of much goods. Services was less. That is why we didn't opt the base year during COVID. Okay. Till now we are using 2011 and 12 itself. Next, apart from that, what we have discussed, factor cost and market price. Okay. What is this factor cost? What is this factor cost? Yes, the cost that is bear during production time by the manufacturer. Okay, by the manufacturer. And here, what you will be adding? Subsidies will be added. Subsidies will be given by whom? Government. What you will not add here? You will be not adding indirect taxes. See, it is not the duty of the manufacturers to pay this indirect taxes. Okay? Who will pay this indirect taxes? Yes, the customers, the people will pay the indirect taxes. That is why it will be included where? In a market price. Market price is equal to factor cost plus indirect taxes minus subsidies. Okay, minus subsidies. Is it necessary to give the subsidies for the manufacturers? Why so? Yes, the manufacturer or the producer will utilize that subsidy for increasing the production or for buying the big machineries, or he wanted to expand his factory. That is why the subsidy is necessary. Okay. If the government gives the subsidy for these manufacturers or for these producers, then obviously automatically what? By increasing the production of goods, obviously the customers will pay the indirect taxes, and also the manufacturer will also pay the taxes. Excise taxes anta kariತೀವಿ. Okay, let me tell that. What is excise tax? Do you know? The tax that is actually levied only for the manufacturers. Okay, you are telling about the custom tax. Okay, custom duty. Custom duty means while importing or exporting any of the goods, that is called as custom duty. Okay, excise tax or excise duty means it is only levied and it should be paid only by the manufacturer. Okay. Then let us solve the MCQ of the previous year regarding the IB, whatever the questions that you are seeing. Okay, along with the year I have just given you out. Okay, see, in 2021 they have asked regarding the GDP. Okay, GDP at factor cost is equal to, okay, they have just given 4 options. Which is the correct answer? Option A. Okay, GDP at factor cost minus indirect taxes, okay, plus subsidies. As we know, that is the formula. If you know this, then it will be helpful. Okay, factor cost is equal to market price minus indirect taxes plus subsidies. Okay, why? Because in a factor cost, no indirect taxes will be added. Okay, that's why this is the correct answer. Understood? Okay. Next one. Let us see the next one. In 2020, they have asked regarding the tertiary sector. The tertiary sector includes what? Banking. Okay. Since agriculture comes under primary sector, that should be eliminated, and manufacturing, that is comes under manufacturing sector, and lastly, finally, the banking, that comes under the service sector. Next. In 2017, they have asked regarding the socialistic economy. Which among the following is not a feature of socialist economy? Okay. Not a feature means, let us see. First one, state ownership of resources. Socialistic means, what is meant by socialistic actually? We know the definition of socialistic economy. Okay, what is the definition of socialistic economy? Yes, government will control. Government will control. Government means the state. Okay, state ownership of resources. It means that it comes under socialistic economy. Okay. Centralized planning. Centralized means the government itself here. Okay, that also comes under socialistic economy. Profit motive dominates. Is it comes under socialistic economy? Capitalistic economy. Okay, and next comes the absence of competition. Yes, in capitalistic economy there is a lot of competition, but in socialistic economy there you will be not seeing any kind of competition, because all will be provided by whom? The government. That's why there is no competition. Okay, the answer is absence of competition. And also profit motive here, it dominates. Actually no. Okay, the government duty is not to do the business here. None of the government will do the business. Actually, they are not a profit motive. Only the capitalist people like businessmen and entrepreneur, they will be having the motive regarding the profits. But as you can see, both the answers are correct here. Okay. Which is not a feature of socialist economy anta kottidare. Either option C is more relevant. Okay, you can just tick for the option C. Next is regarding NDP. NDP, that is net domestic product, is obtained by reducing which from GDP. Okay, wherever the net is there, what you will do? GDP minus depreciation. That is what the formula they have asked. Okay. Okay, these are the questions of previous year. I mean, these are the previous year questions. Okay. Is there any doubts in this? No doubts. Okay. The next comes the next chapter, that is growth, happiness and development. Let us see each one. There are only 3 to 4 topics that are important. Firstly, okay, one of the important topic for your exam, that is human development report. Most of the time they have asked regarding this HDI or this HDR, okay, human development report. See, we know that the GDP is actually a quantitative based income or else economy. Here we don't say any kind of quality here. In any of the formula, have you seen any quality based formula? No. Only the thing is, yesterday we have seen P into Q. Okay, have we seen that formula? P into Q, that is price into quantity. Here only the quantity based will be calculated. But in order to have the qualitative growth, that is why they have brought this HDR also. Okay, only having the GDP in any of the country doesn't mean that there is a growth, there is development also. Okay, in order to have the development, we should focus mainly on quantity as well as quality. Okay, the government should not only focus on quantity here, they should also focus on quality. That is why this HDR, that is Human Development Index, have been published. Okay, and this one especially, this was being published, and who is the innovator of this HDR is, see here, the founders. Okay, Human Development Report, it is being founded by Mehboob ul Haq. He was a Pakistani economist, and also the Amartya Sen, he was also an Indian economist. Okay, and he got a Nobel Prize for that in an economy. Okay, see, Pakistani economists and Indian economists both have contributed for the Human Development Index. And firstly, it was published in the year 1990. Okay, since from 1990 onwards, from 1950 till 1990, from independence, since from 1947 till 1990, we focused only on GDP. Then these economists told that, and they have given report that don't focus mainly on quantity, just also focus on qualitative aspect also. And that is why they have started to publish this kind of quality based human development index. Okay, so, and who is the publisher of this human development report? It is published by the UNDP, that is United Nations Development Program. Very important. United Nations Development Program, in the year 1990 they have firstly published. And who are the founders of this human development report? It is Pakistani and Indian economist, that is Mehboob ul Haq and also Amartya Sen. One of the important topic, especially in economy. Okay, let me send that PDF. Okay, don't worry. Now let us analyze. See, this HDI report will be given based on a ranking. Okay, based on a ranking, they will give the reports. Okay, firstly, let us see what is the India's rank. In 2025, the HDI report or as the Human Development Report based on 2023 data they have published. And what is our India's rank? India's rank is 130th out of 193. Okay, out of 193 countries, our India stands in which place? 130th. Okay, in 2022 our rank was 133. See, around about 3 places we have been at top. Okay, from 133rd in the, we have jumped to 130th. That is good. It is actually a better one. Okay. And see here, what is the value? 0.685. From 0 to 1, the points will be given. Okay. As you increase the value, it is a good result. It is the best, and they will give a top rank. Okay. Right now, we are in the middle position. Okay. That is 0.685. And see, as I told you, it is a medium human development. As we stands less than 0.7. Okay. If it is more than 0.7 means it is a good one. Okay. Next comes the excellent. That kind. Historical growth, as we can see, from since 1990, India's first HDI has grown by over 53%. From 1990 till 2025, our growth have been increased to 53%, round about 53%. Mainly we should focus on the rank of India, that is 130th rank. Okay. 130th rank, and top 3 countries in the world regarding HDI ranking is Iceland, next comes the Switzerland, and next in second place the Norway, and the third one is Denmark. Okay. See, what is the value? It is 0.972. Okay. And let us see what is the rank of our neighboring countries. Okay. We should know this. Okay. We think that India is progressing and India is far better than our neighboring country. But when you see the report of HDR, you will get to know where our India stands and where our neighboring countries are standing. Firstly, Bhutan stands 125, and it is good compared to the India. Our India ranks 130th, and Bangladesh 130, same as India. Sri Lanka, it is 89. Maldives 93, Nepal 145, Pakistan 168. Okay. How this HDI will be calculated? Let us analyze that detail. Okay. This HDI or HDR is calculated based on 3 dimensions. That is, the firstly, the health, second is education, the third one is standard of living. Health is measured based on a life expectancy at birth. Okay. The maximum average lifespan according to the HDR is 85. Okay. 85 years of life expectancy is being used for calculation purpose. Minimum is 20 years. Maximum is 85 years. Minimum is 20 years. Okay. And next comes the education. Okay. Education is measured by mean years of schooling and expected years of schooling. Okay. Let us see what is the India's mean years of schooling and also expected years of schooling. Round about 13 years to 18 years, they will spend a time for schooling itself. Okay. At the age of 6, we will be a first standard. Okay. Till the completion of degree. For how many years of schooling will be having? 21. See, it is at the age of 6, you will be first standard, and at the age of degree, you will be a minimum 21. Minimum for degree completion, at least you need 3 years. Maximum it is 4.55 years also. Okay. But what is the difference now? 21 minus 5, sorry, 21 minus 6, it is 15. Okay, 15 years you will be spending in the school. Now have you got that? Okay, what is the age for schooling? It is a minimum will be 6 years. Don't take it nursery. They are not just including nursery, UKG, LKG. Okay, the minimum age is 6 years. and till the completion of degree they'll just calculate, and it is 15 years, and this is the main years of schooling. And next, what is expected years of schooling, that they will calculate. What is the real one, real schooling? Okay, and some of the students will do the masters also. In foreign, most of the countries, within 15 years only, at the age of 21 only, they will complete the masters in some few countries. But in India, it is not that one. Okay. And let us see this standard of living. Okay. Very important. The standard of living is measured by the GNI, that is gross national income. Gross national income, this is calculated based on per capita. Per capita means per person, how much income he is earning in a year. Okay, that is what per capita. Based on GNI, per capita means total population divided by this per capita. Okay, that is the GNI. Based on these three dimensions, they will calculate the Human Development Index. As I told you, HDI values range from 0 to 1, with higher values denoting better human development. Is there any doubt in this? Fourth one, okay. Expected years of schooling. Okay, expected years of schooling means, see how mean years is 15 years. Okay, sometimes expected year might be 18 also. Okay, some of the students, when you take the average of the Indians, what is the expected years of schooling they have? Actual one. It might be 6.5 or 7 years also. See, compulsory and free education should be given till the age of 14 in India. Okay, from 6, let me just explain you. Okay, from 6 from 6 age 6 to 14 years, it is compulsory and free education. Okay, what is the difference? 8 years. Okay, 8 years they should have compulsory and free education in India. Okay, but when you take the reality, it is lesser, even lesser. It is just 6.9. Firstly, it was 6.9, then it came to 6.2 years. 6 years. Yes, difference. See here, at least 8 years they should spend the schooling from the age of 6, from first standard to 8th standard. From first standard to 8th standard, they should compulsory get the free and compulsory education. But expected and also the reality is totally different. It is just in a constitution, but in reality, when they calculate in a HDR, that schooling, that expected schooling is just 6.9 or 6.2 years. Okay, most of the students will get drop out at the age of 7th or 6th standard itself. Especially the girls, when they came to the puberty, most of the parents, they deny to send the daughter for the schools due to the various reasons. Sometimes in government schools, or sometimes in most of the village schools, there you don't find the bathrooms or washrooms. Due to that, the girls will not go for schooling also. See, basic, these kind of minimum issues, whatever these kind of issues, that will lead to these kinds of problems. And that is why this human development report will give what is the India's value, especially in terms of health, education, and also in terms of standard of living. Okay, let us analyze that in detail in the next page. Okay. See here, this is India's report. Okay. that is the general report of Human Development Index, and this is purely how they have done the calculation based on what. Okay, see here, the health life expectancy at birth according to the 2023 life expectancy at birth in 2023 was 72 years. That was the highest since HDR inception, showing recovery from the pandemic. Okay, that is the India's life expectancy. Okay, in 2023, that is the highest one. But in 1990, it was only just 58.6 years. And see how many years it has been improved. 13 years have been increased in terms of life expectancy. Why this growth have been increased? Due to these schemes or the policies that have been adopted by the government of India. Okay. The schemes like Ayushman Bharat, National Rural Health Mission, Janani Suraksha Yojana, and also Poshan Abhiyan. These help to increase the life expectancy of the Indians. Okay. What is this Ayushman Bharat? Do you know? Yes. Yes. Till 5 lakh rupees, these eligible holders, they can get the facilities for the treatment in hospitals, in private hospitals too. Okay. Some of the private hospitals, they are eligible for giving this kind of facilities through Ayushman Bharat. Okay. And National Rural Health Mission is there. Janani Suraksha Yojana. It is for the mother. Okay. And also for Poshan Abhiyan. What is this Poshan Abhiyan? Okay. In government schools, have you seen the midday meal program? Okay. In the afternoon, they will give the free food facilities, and also they will give the milk in the morning. Okay, after the starting of the classes. See, that all will help for increasing the nutrition for the children. When these children will get the nutrition, automatically their life expectancy will become higher. Is it or not? Okay. The next one is education. As I told you, expected and mean years of schooling. Okay. See here. Expected years of schooling for children, it is 13 years in 2023. And mean years of schooling, okay, I just crossed, I think so, in previous slide. Okay, mean years of schooling is up to the adults, it is 6.9 years in 2023 from 6.5 years. Okay, 6.5 years to mean years of schooling, average, but it has been increased. Okay. Improvements, how it has been improved? Through the RTE Act, that is Rights to Education Act. Next is Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, and also National Education Policy 2020. Okay. Standard of living. Okay. What is the standard of living? GNI per capita, that is purchasing power parity. Yesterday I have just explained regarding the purchasing power parity. Okay. See, our India's per capita is $9,047. Okay, per person, averagely yearly, okay, he will be having this much of income. It is 2023. 2022 mein, it is having $8,476. Okay. This is also have been increased. The per capita of Indians have been increased. And also in 1990, if you see the data, it was just $2,167 only. The average income was this much. But now it was been increased. Okay. See, this all. See, this is the table that is important. Okay. You can just compare it. Life expectancy in 1990 and also in 2023. Okay. And what are the challenges that is underlying in terms of HDI? Inequality reduces India's HDI by around 30.7%, among the largest reductions globally. What kind of inequalities that you will be finding?
Education.
Yes, education, health also. Okay, in government's hospitals, there you don't find much machineries, or the doctors, they don't have much machineries to get to give the treatment. As you can see that MRIs is being used in most of the government hospitals. Only the private hospitals can afford and they can give those kinds of treatment. MRI scanning ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು and different types of very costly equipments is not found, especially in the government hospitals. Okay, that kind of discrimination is leading to the 30% of the difference. Okay. And next is gender inequality index. Okay. As you can see, gender inequality index is round about 0.403%. I mean 0.403 value. Okay. And also showing gaps in reproductive health, political participation, and also workforce inclusion. Okay. How this is gender inequality index is also related to the HDI.
Average production of the children will come to.
Yes, as you can see, there is still a female feticide. ಹೌದಾ, ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಭ್ರೂಣ ಹತ್ಯೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. And also that all reproduction health ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, and also political participation, workforce inclusion, that all indirectly is making the India's HDI very low. Okay. Majorly they will calculate based on the 3 indicators, but for those, especially for those particular indicators, these are indirect problems that is facing. Okay. Is there any doubt in this? National education policy. See, this national education policy, this is a central government central education policy, and some of the states have implemented this national education policy in their own respective state. Some of the states have not adopted this one. Okay, due to the political agenda, some of them they didn't opt for this. But this national education policy that gives occasional training, it gives more concentration for the occasional training and the skills for the students. Okay, whatever the state subject, whatever the state syllabus, whatever we have been learned in that days, they didn't give occasional training, they didn't focus on the skills. But in national education policy, at least 3 languages should be learned from the students. Whatever the mother language, they are just focusing also on the mother language, mother tongue also. Okay, and along with that, this national education policy, when you perceive the UG, when you perceive the degree, during that time, for first year, at least for 1 year, if you have the UG course, they will give the different types of certificate for that. Based on that, you can get the job. In olden days, without having the degree certificate, they wouldn't have given a relevant job for you. But based on the years of whatever the schooling, whatever the degree you take, they will give the different certification for that. Okay, for if you complete for only 1 year, and if you drop out from that education, then you will be having the different degree certificate. Based on that, they will give the job, okay, in the market. Okay, and for 2nd year, for 3rd year, for 4th year. Okay, but in especially in Karnataka, this was been again cancelled, I think so. Okay, firstly it was been adopted for only 1 or 2 years, then again it was been got cancelled. Okay, in Congress government. See, this is one of the important for your UPSC actually. Okay, national education policy. In Tamil Nadu, they don't wanted to adopt this one, and there is a lot of issues that is going on regarding national education policy in Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. The next comes the World Happiness Report or Gross Happiness Report, Global Happiness Report. Okay. What is this World Happiness Report? Why it is important? See, this World Happiness Report or the Global Happiness Report, this was actually founded by the king, Bhutan king, named Wangchuk in 1972. This king told that GDP, not only the GDP will help for development of the country, we should also focus on qualitative aspect, as we told, okay, for the development, for the human development purpose. That is why this World Happiness Report was been adopted and it is being used globally. And this report will be given by the UNSDSN, that is United Nations Sustainable Development Solution Network. They will publish this World Happiness Report. Okay. And as we have seen the HDI ranking, the same way the World Happiness Report, according to that, our India's ranking is 118th out of 147 countries. Okay. And Pakistan is far better and they are having a good rank than the India. See, what is the rank of Pakistan? Or not 9th. And Nepal is 92nd, Sri Lanka stands 133rd, and also Bangladesh stands 134th. Okay. Top 3 countries globally is the Finland, world happiest country. It is Finland. The next comes the Denmark and Iceland. Okay. What is the criteria for calculating this World Happiness Report is that, see, there are few criteria. That is, there are 6 variables. That is GDP per capita. Okay, what is the India's per capita? Based on that, the next is social support. What is the social support the government is giving for the development of nation through the schemes, through the policies, through the programs? Okay. Next is healthy life expectancy. Okay. And next, 4th one is freedom to make life choices in terms of profession. Okay, in terms of laws, whatever the laws, and also next is generosity, and third one, perceptions of corruption. If the corruption is more in any of the country, there the happiness is less. Okay, and this corruption is also one of the variable for calculating the World Happiness Index. Okay, generosity, that is having the good aesthetics. Okay. See, in Finland, Denmark, if you just Google regarding the Finland, Denmark, there the government mainly focuses on the decoration, the aesthetics too. Okay, the painting, the building of the painting, and also the good roads. Okay, better roads. They just give that. Why? Because that will help psychologically for the humans for making it happiness. Are you understanding? Okay. If you see the dirt, there you don't feel happiness. Okay, when you see the different types of aesthetics, there you will be feeling the happiness. That is what they have given that as a criteria. Okay, and these are the criteria for calculating the World Happiness Index. Okay. Let us see the MCQ. Which of the following variables are used by the World Happiness Report to model countries' ranking? Okay. Firstly, the GDP per capita, social support, infant mortality rate, perceptions of corruption. Okay, there we have not seen this infant mortality rate. Okay. If you eliminate this, we'll be getting ABD. Okay. Next is, which country retained the top rank in the World Happiness Report? That is Finland. The next topic is Global Hunger Report. Okay. 2024. See, this global hunger report, this kind of hunger report and happiness report, human development report, that is important for your exams. Okay. And also illiteracy rate, okay. This kind, and also mortality rate. Global Hunger Index report, if you see that, it is published by the Concerned Worldwide and Wealth Hunger Life. Okay, this is one of the organization that will publish the hunger report. And what is the India's rank? It is 105th rank out of 127 countries. Okay. And see our score. Our score is 27.3 only. Okay. And we are facing the serious hunger issue in the country. And what are the indicators for this? For calculating the hunger report, for calculating this, we are having 4 indicators. That is undernourishment, child stunting, child wasting, and child mortality. Let us see each one. What is the definition of these? What is undernourishment? The share of the population with insufficient caloric intake. Some of the, see, these poor people, they don't have the rich nutritious food because they are lacking the nutritious food. Okay, and that is why those people are also called as, these people who are having the less calorie, those people are called as undernourished. Okay. Purposely, some of the people will do the diet. Okay, they don't want to take the high calorie. Those people are not called as undernourished. Those who can't afford the nutritious food, those people are called as undernourished people. Okay. Next is child stunting. See, these specific words are so important. They have asked in a UPSC level also. Okay. And what is child stunting? The share of children under age 5 who have low height for their age, reflecting chronic undernutrition. Okay. The children under age 5, okay, based on their height, based on their age, they should have the height. Okay. If based on the age, if they don't have the proper height, they are called as child stunting. Stunting means lesser height. Okay. Next, child wasting. The share of the children under age 5 who have low weight for their height. Okay, based on their height. Do you know BMI, body mass index? Okay, body mass index means based on the height you should have your weight. Okay, that is what it is called as child wasting. Okay, based on a height, if the child is not having the proper weight, they are called as child wasting. Okay, and this is regarding the acute undernutrition. Next is child mortality. The children who die before their 5th birthday, those people are called as child mortality. Okay. Why? Because due to the inadequate nutrition or unhealthy environment. Okay. Is there any doubt in these definitions? Okay. See, very important data, that is 295 million people face acute food insecurity in 2024 across 53 countries. Across 53 countries, still there is a lot of starvation. And also, what is the main cause for that? Conflicts. As you know, during the war, okay, the food crisis will be more. Okay, and also climate change. Sometimes it will be prone for drought or flooding. Okay. Due to that, crops will get failed. Okay. And also next is economic shocks. Okay. Sometimes the onion price will go high, the chili price will go high. Okay. And also the food grains prices will go too high that the poor people or the middle class people can't afford those. Acute means light. Acute means the meaning of the acute is light, short, or mild also. Okay, as we can see this World Happiness Report, according to that Finland it drops and India's ranking is 118. Okay, Global Hunger Index and also SOFI, that is published by the UN. Okay, that is okay. Global Report on Food Crisis. Okay, state of food security. State of food security and nutrition in the world. Okay, the full form of SOFI is state of food security and nutrition in the world. Who will publish this global hunger index? Concerned Worldwide and Wealth Hunger Life. Okay. This UNDP that publishes what? HDI. Human Development Index is published by UNDP. Happiness Index is published by United Nations Security Solution anta ittalva. That one, Solution Network, that one. This hunger index is published by Concerned Worldwide and Wealth Hunger Life anta. Okay, don't get confusion regarding this. Okay, next. Which of the following indicators are used to calculate the Global Hunger Index score? Which are those? All the option, that is C option is correct. Okay. Is there any doubt? No doubt. The next. The next chapter is 5-year plans. Okay. 5-year plans. Okay. What is this 5-year plan? Do you know? Okay.
Specific sector to develop.
Yes, correct. After independence and commencement of the constitution in 1950, the government thought that we can't mainly focus on all the sectors right now. During specific years, firstly we will focus on agriculture sector, then the industrial sector, and after that we will focus on the different types of sectors. Okay, and this 5-year plan is given by which commission? The report is given by Planning Commission. Okay, 5-year plan is being, just write down, the 5-year plan is published by Planning Commission. Planning Commission was been established in 1950. Okay, Planning Commission. Planning Commission was been set up in 1950. Okay, it has given the report regarding 5-year plan. Okay. The first 5-year plan was started from 1951 till 1956. Okay. In first 5-year plan, they focused on agriculture. Okay, that is first 5-year plan. They have focused on agriculture, and let us see in this column the target growth and actual growth. What was the target of the government of India? Harrod-Domer model. Harrod-Domer model. Just write down. First 5-year plan is also called as Harrod-Domer model. First 5-year plan is also called as Harrod-Domer model, and the target was just 2.1% from the government. But what was the actual growth? 3.6. Then is it successful or it was unsuccessful? It was successful. Okay, and what is the government in which sector they have focused on? Food security, and also they have established Bakra Nangal Dam, Hirakud Dam, also food whatever the scarcity of food was been had, then they focused mainly on the food, that is agriculture, and there was plenty of crops have been grown during that time. Okay. This model was successful. This Harrow-Domer model was successful. Then comes the second 5-year plan that was from 1956 to 1967. Okay, and this government of India mainly focused on industrial sector in second 5-year plan, and this model is also called as Mahalanobis model, PC Mahalanobis model. He was an economist, and he just, because of his contribution, the report given by PC Mahalanobis, that's why they have just given that name. Okay, and the target was 4.5, and what is the actual growth? 4.27, almost successful. Okay, then what government of India focused on? The steel plants. Round about 5 steel plants was been established during second 5-year plan, that is at Rourkela, Bhilai, and also in Durgapur. All these steel plants have been established during second 5-year plan. Why they wanted to establish these steel plants? Is it important to establish the steel plants? Okay, then with the help of steel, what is the importance of steel? Where will be using the steel? Okay, then yes, construction of buildings. Okay, these steel plants, okay, without the construction of steel plants, we can't produce the steel, and this steel will be majorly utilized for construction of buildings. They wanted to establish the building, they wanted to construct the buildings. For what purpose? Why they wanted to have the buildings? Yeah, then in order to have the government official departments, and also they wanted to set up the industries, different types of industries. That is why there was a lack of steel during that time. They used to import also, and the government of India thought that firstly the core sector, whatever the core sectors are there, we should focus on that. The core sectors. Do you know how many core sectors are there? I mean, the core industries are there. There are 8. Okay, steel, chemical industries. Just write down 8 core industries in India. The 8 core industries are firstly the coal, next crude oil, natural gas, refinery products, fertilizers, steel, cement, and finally the electricity. Okay, lastly electricity. These are the 8 core industries, that the government of India focused on. Okay, without these are very essential and basic for development of the nation. Okay, without, firstly, what you have written, the coal. Why the coal is necessary? Coal is necessary for production of energy, electricity. For thermal power plant, we need the coal. Without the fuel, that is the coal, we can't produce the electricity. Okay, the coal is just a fuel, it is a source. It will help to boil the water, and that water will be converted into steam, and then it becomes the generation of electricity. Okay, then the crude oil. Why the crude oil is important? we can extract petrol, diesel, okay, kerosene, and also then natural gas. Natural gas is utilized for production of energy also. Then refinery products. Refinery products means that is the petroleum products itself. The next comes the steel. Steel is used for construction of buildings and also infrastructure. That is why they focused on establishment of steel industries in these 5 localities. Okay, Rourkela, Billai, Durgapur ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ in Orissa, Jharkhand. Okay, there they have established the steel industries. Next comes the cement. Cement is a component that will be utilized for construction of buildings and also the infrastructure. Next comes the electricity. Okay, all these 8 core industries are important for the development of the India during that time. That is why their focus was on these 8 core industries. Okay. The next comes the third 5-year plan. That is this third 5-year plan was being adopted and it was came into the force in 1961 till 1966. Okay. In third 5-year plan, they focused on agriculture and also the industry, both. Okay, that is what it is called as self-reliance. What is meant by self-reliance?
Not depending on.
Yes, not depending on others. Okay, and also what is the target? And actually it was, and this was a huge failure. Why this third 5-year plan was failure? This is the reason. In 1962, there was India-China war. Due to that, and also 1965, India-Pakistan war, and also there was a drought during that time. All led to the failure of this third 5-year plan. Okay. See, what is the, how this war led to the failure? How this war, India-China and India-Pakistan war led to the failure of third 5-year plan? Why so?
The resources are for the
Yes, all the resources, whatever the fund they have allocated for the agriculture industrial sector, they have just mainly focused on the war itself for purchasing the weapons and everything, missiles during that time. Okay, and also there was lot of destruction have been happened. Okay, loss of property, loss of life. Next is planned holidays. After the third 5-year plan, government of India decided to have the short-term plans. Okay, the 5-year plan is it is for 5 years. Then after the war, when it was been unsuccessful, it was been failed, and during that time, the government of India thought that okay, we should firstly focus on the short-term plans now. Okay, it was for 3-year plans. That was for 3 years. It was from 1966 till 1969, and during that time, the Green Revolution have been started in India. Okay. And what is Green Revolution?
to be given to the agriculture and agricultural machineries and already
Okay. What are the components of Green Revolution?
high yield varieties of crops.
Yes, HYV seeds. Okay, HYV seeds. Components of the Green Revolution is one is HYV seeds, that is high yielding variety of seeds have been used by the farmers in India, especially the wheat and rice. These seeds have been utilized and they started to give that these seeds started to give high yield of crops, especially in Punjab and Haryana. Okay. Next comes the fertilizer. Next comes the pesticides. Till 1965, okay, till 1965, our farmers used only the manure not the fertilizer. Okay, fertilizer, so it was just some of the rich landlords, they used to purchase the fertilizer during that time, and that manure is made up from what? Cow dung. Okay, there were a lot of cattle during that time, and whatever the manure that has been used for the field. But since the fertilizer came to the India, okay, in Green Revolution, this fertilizer, by adding the fertilizers for the seeds, for the crops, it started to give the yields, very good yields. Then comes the pesticides as well. Okay. And also, see, till 1965, 95 to 99% of the farmers, they use only the organic farming, because they don't know what kind of pesticide. There was no pesticides or the fertilizers during that time. Okay. Then comes the irrigation. Bore, and also the dip irrigation. Okay. With the help of irrigation, can the farmers, will it help for the farmers or not for growing the seeds, for growing the crops? It will increase the production of crops as well. Okay, all these are the components of Green Revolution. That is HYV seeds, fertilizer, pesticides, irrigation. Okay, and this plant was also a kind of mixed one. Okay, it is already a successful one. Okay, just you can write successful also. And 3 annual plans due to the crisis. Annual plan means yearly plan was been planned out. Next comes the 4th 5-year plan. Okay. In 4th 5-year plan, they focused on growth and stability, and it was been successful, unsuccessful, and during that time there was a bank nationalization also. Okay, Indira Gandhi, she has done the bank nationalization in 1969. Okay, firstly 14 banks have been nationalized during that time. Okay, till 1969 only the rich businessmen or the entrepreneur used to get the loans in these kinds of banks. Okay, during that time banks were meant only to give a loans only for the rich people, not for the poor people, not for the middle class people. Then what the Indira Gandhi ji she has done during that time is she has took the ownership of these banks, 14 banks. After taking the after making them nationalization, then through the schemes, through the policy, then the farmers also used to get the loans after nationalization. And when the middle class people, when the poor people started to get the loans from these nationalized banks, then their income also got doubled. When you are having the plan regarding any of the business, if you go for the bank during that time, they never used to give loan. Okay, due to the nationalization, then they got the angel investor and also venture capitalist, and also these kinds of banks started to give the loans through the schemes, whatever the schemes that have been launched from the government of India. Okay. See, during 1969, banks, it was called as banks to the people. That is, normal like public also used to get the loans, okay, for investment purpose. In 5th 5-year plan, they focus mainly on poverty and also self-reliance. That is, Garibi Hatao and also electricity expansion have been took place. Garibi Hatao is very famous scheme, okay, and that was being established during 5th 5-year plan. Next comes the 6th plan and 7th plan. These are not much important. Okay. Let us see the 2nd annual plan, that is in 1990 till 1992. Okay, because due to the political instability, there was LPG reforms have been took place after this annual plan. Okay, see, LPG reform have been took place. Why? Because in 1990 till 1992, there was a war in Gulf countries. Gulf countries, they used to have the war, and we used to import lot of crude oil from the Gulf countries. When they used to start at the war, it already impacted on India also. Why? Because the price of the crude oil, price of the petrol was too much during that time. Okay, during war. And our India had only the forex for only 14 days. Forex means foreign exchange. Okay, these foreign exchange, these currencies was lasted only for 14 days during that time. And during this time only, the PM was, who was the PM during that time? Narasimha Rao. And the finance minister was Manmohan Singh. Okay, and because of this kind of LPG reform that was being adopted from the IMF, okay, IMF have given some of the reforms for the government of India during that time to adopt and to bring back the stability in India. Okay, and you should know what is this annual plan, and it is just for only 2 years. Okay, there was a crisis. Next, in 8th plan, we have adopted the LPG reforms. What is LPG? Liberalization, privatization, globalization. Okay, and they mainly focused on jobs and also the education during that time. In 9th 5-year plan, they have focused on rural infrastructure, poverty reduction through the different types of schemes, and these are the important. Lastly, there was a 12th 5-year plan that is not a failure, but that was the last 5-year plan. Okay, and this was being replaced, this planning commission was being replaced with Niti Aayog, okay, in 2015. Okay, till 2014 planning commission worked. Okay, see here, this planning commission was being ended in the early 2015, and there was no final result of the 12th 5-year plan. Okay, we can't tell that it is failure or it is successful. Okay, tricks or the mnemonics for the first 7 5-year plan. These are important one. That is, a strong soldier wins battle proudly today. That is, A stands for agriculture, strong stands for steel or the industry, and soldier stands for self-reliance. That is the third one. Okay, but wars. Okay, and why wars? India, China, and India, Pakistan war. Okay. Also, wins means welfare, bank nationalization. And next one, battle, that is Garibi Hatao. Okay. Proudly and today. This is 6th one and 7th one. And next comes the Niti Aayog. See, planning commission was being replaced, and during that time they have introduced the Niti Aayog. Okay. What is the full form of Niti Aayog? National Institution for Transforming India. Okay, and this was being formed and came into the force in 2015 of January 1. Okay. It is the replacement of planning commission. And what is the type? It is a think tank body, thinking and giving the solution. Think tank body. It is just an advisory body. Planning commission, it was so rigid. Okay, so what is the difference between planning commission and Niti Aayog? Do you know? Don't know? Okay, let me tell you. In planning commission, there was PM as chairperson, there were CM, and there were full-time and part-time members. Full-time and part-time members. Whatever, and also the expertise as well. Whatever the report have made or created by the planning commission, that should be followed by the state government. Here the central government had more power, that is PM throughout the nation. Okay, whatever the central government, that is the PM, okay, whatever they tell, whatever these expertise and full-time part-time members they used to give the report, that should be followed by whom? The state government, so-called CM. The problem of Karnataka is different than the problem of this Northeast, or the problem of Tamil Nadu is different than the problem of Karnataka. Only the same topic, only the same policies can't be actually implemented in all the states. Different states have different problem. But this planning commission used to give the only one exact, only one scheme or else one policy. that should be implemented and adopted throughout the India, throughout all the states. But this was not advisory body during that time. Whatever the report they used to give, that should be implemented by whom? The CM, the concerned, the respective CM of each states. Okay, and then comes the Niti Aayog. Here, Niti Aayog became only just an advisory body. Okay, and whatever the CM and lieutenant governors are there, lieutenant governors of union territories. Okay, the lieutenant governors of union territories are there. They can discuss the problems of their own state now. See, in Niti Aayog, it is just an advisory body. They don't forcefully tell the CM to adopt the policies or the schemes there. Okay, it gives just an advices. That's it. Okay, and see, yeah. What is the role of the Niti Aayog? It is cooperative federalism, strategic planning, and also innovation promotion. All this is the role of the Niti Aayog. And who is the chairperson? Prime Minister. Prime Minister is the chairperson, and CEO is appointed by the Government of India. There will be a Chief Executive Officer. And also the governing council consists of all the CM of all the states and also Lieutenant Governor of Union Territories. Okay. How many Union Territories are there in India? 7? 8. Okay. Which are those? Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Daman and Diu, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Chandigarh, Andaman and Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Delhi and Puducherry. Okay, for Delhi you should call it as National Capital Territory of Delhi. Okay, these are the 8 union territories. Okay, and what is the difference? What is the difference between Planning Commission and Niti Aayog? Let us see that. What is the difference? Planning Commission allocates fund. Okay, and Niti Aayog only advises. It just give only the advices here. See, function of Niti Aayog. These are the various functions of the Niti Aayog. Very important. That is a policy think tank that provides strategies, long-term policy vision for India's development. For India's development, whatever the strategy they want, whatever the policy they want, they will just give through the reports. Next comes the cooperative federalism. What is meant by federalism? Federalism means, federal means 2. Okay, that is a center as well as state. Okay. Both the center and state should have a good cooperation. That is called as cooperative federalism. Next comes the advisory role. Okay. See, there are different sectors. For each sector, they will give the report. For agriculture sector, industrial sector, service sector, health sector, and also for the education sector. For all these sectors, it will give the report. Okay. Next comes the foster innovation. Atal Innovation Mission. Okay, for the entrepreneurship and also for the research. This program have been running, and also monitor and evaluate. It will monitor and it will evaluate the government schemes and the programs. See, these schemes, these programs is also given by the Niti Aayog. Once the Government of India launches these schemes, it will just see what is the progress of these schemes. Okay. When that scheme is running successfully, it will give the report that this whatever the scheme is going on, okay, whatever the funds, how much they have been just expended, and also is this scheme should continue or discontinue. That all the reports will be given by the Niti Aayog. The next comes the promote sustainable development. Okay, that is works on environment friendly growth and strategies. Okay. And no fund allocation, as the Planning Commission used to fund for each state. Here it don't fund. This Niti Aayog only just give the advices. But the finance minister will give the funding, not the Niti Aayog. Okay. Finance minister will give the funding, but Niti Aayog only just advises. That's it. Okay, just take a break. So tomorrow you will be having the economy test. Okay. Till yesterday, today, whatever we have completed. Okay. Timing, it is 2 to 2:30. Okay. After 2:30 we will start the class. Okay. Friday, Friday is Independence Day. Okay. You will be having the classes as usual. Okay. Test also, and students should come early as we are going to host the flag. Okay. And in the morning itself, you should come. Okay. On that day, geography classes will not be getting conducted, but the economic classes will get conducted for IB. Okay. Morning itself. After the breakfast. Okay. Not Friday, not in the afternoon. We'll start at 11 o'clock itself. The classes will start at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. 11 to, yes, 11 to 2 o'clock. That's it. Saturday as usual. No, okay. Saturday at 10 to 1 o'clock. Okay. Polity test, sir, I will ask for sir to give the questions, and you just message me till where I have completed this classes. Okay. I mean this test, we will conduct that within 2 days, at least on Saturday. Allocation. Okay. We will start with the next chapter, that is inflation. Okay. Inflation. Just put the heading inflation. So what is inflation? An increase in the price of goods and services. See here, this inflation will cause some of the problems for the economy. Okay, for especially Indian economy anta tagondaga, if there is a huge inflation, even the government also may fall. Why? Because yes, there will be huge financial crisis. Okay, that will lead to the huge financial crisis also. And if the government can't if the government, if it can't solve this problem regarding the inflation, then the people will go for the strike and they will condemn the government also. And after that, due to the failure of administration, the government even may fall out. Okay, see, and if this ruling party, if it can't control the inflation in the next election, obviously the people of India, they don't vote for the ruling party. Why? Because majorly, if you see these middle class people and poor people, the concern for them is, firstly, they want the prices should be under control regarding the LPG ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, that is gas, natural gas ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. Next is petroleum products, petrol, diesel, and the milk, the fruits, the vegetables, the pulses, all that basic necessities, all these groceries, the goods should have the minimum prices. Okay, if the prices shoot up, what these people will do, they will condemn, they will go on a strike, they will be just going towards the strike against the government. Okay, that is why inflation is very important topic for your exam perspective. Okay. Let us see what is this inflation. Okay, just write down the definition. Okay, it is the general rise of the prices of goods and services, not only the goods but also the services. The general rise of prices of goods and services, that is called as inflation. See here, inflation, the graph of the inflation is this one. Okay, just put this graph. See here, if the demand increases, obviously price will get increased. So this is the graph of the inflation. Okay, the opposite of the inflation is deflation and also disinflation. Okay, see, let me give one example for you. Okay, in 2022, the price of the petrol was, just think, it is 90 rupees per liter. Okay, petrol. Okay, then in 2025, right here. Okay, 90 rupees per liter. Okay, in 2025, what is the price of petrol? 101 rupees. Okay, 101 rupees per liter. This, the difference, okay, whatever the it has been increased, okay, that is called as inflation. Okay, the price have been increased from 90 rupees to 101 rupees, that is called as inflation. Okay, next comes the opposite of the inflation is the deflation and disinflation. Okay, let us put the column. This is deflation, this is disinflation. Deflation and disinflation, the opposite of inflation. What is this deflation and disinflation? Do you have an idea? regarding this? Increase in the price. Okay. Then which is good and which is bad for the economy?
should be constant.
It-
Price of the producers will get harmed.
okay.
And increase the price of the consumers.
Okay. Then okay. So let me give an example for both. Okay. See here. Let us take the example of the basic goods, like a basic vegetables. Let us take onion. Okay. Think that if the onion price have been shoot up and if it is 70 rupees per kg, it is an inflation. Okay. And due to the lesser demand, after certain days, what it will come? It will decrease. It will decrease to 30 rupees per kg. Now the people can afford, the people can buy this. Okay. More number of people will buy 30 rupees per kg onion. After again for certain years, if the demand becomes less, again it will get decreased to 5 rupees per kg. Okay. This is called as inflation. This moderate price is called as disinflation. Disinflation. This least price is called as deflation. Okay. Just put the price. The rise of a price. Okay. The rise of a price of goods and services is inflation. The definition of deflation is it is the decrease. It is the decrease in the value of goods and services. It is the decrease. It is the decrease in the value of goods and services. The same one, the definition for this also the same one. Okay, just write down the same definition. See how if the price gets increased, if the price is too high, then if the price is too high, then it is difficult for the buyers to purchase. Okay. See how once the demand increases, the price will get increase. Okay. The totally this economy stands on only the two words, that is demand and supply. See here, let me show you. Take the example of petrol. See, if the supply of petrol, if the supply of petrol is less, then what about the demand? Obviously it will get increase. If you go for the petrol, petrol station ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, if the supply is less, okay, most of the people will be in queue and they will demand that we need a petrol. Okay? The demand will be too much. Once the demand is too much, obviously the price will get shoot up, it will get increase. Okay, people will tell that we will pay you extra money, just give me the petrol. Then once this price gets increased, see here, that demand and price are directly proportional. First stage, see, totally if it depends on the supply itself. If the supply is more, demand will be less. It is inversely proportional. These two are inversely proportional, but these two are directly proportional. Okay. Whatever the price of the goods, that depends on the supply itself. It is the first stage. Okay. If the supply, if there is any variation in supply, automatically the demand will get either increase or decrease. Okay. Supply will affect the demand. Demand will affect the price. Okay. See. As we know this, see here, the price of the onion, it reaches the 70 rupees. This is the inflation. Once, why this price of the onion have been increased? The supply is less. Why is less? Okay. See, there might be various reasons for decrease in the supply of onion. It might be a drought or it might be a flood also. And due to that, what it will become in the market, when the price, in the market, if the supply is less, obviously the demand get increase. Once the demand increases, price will get increase. Okay. And if it reaches to 70 rupees, okay, after certain months only it will get decrease. If the price of the onion, if it is 70 rupees, tomorrow itself it don't be a 30 rupees here, because in order to grow the onion, at least they need 5 to 6 months of time. Okay, once the farmer thinks that okay, it is 70 rupees per kg, then I might get huge profit, what he will do? He will again grow that crop. Okay, once again the supply is increased, automatically demand get decreased. Once the demand decrease, price will go for lesser. And this is good for economy. This is good for consumers also. Okay, can they afford this or not at 30 rupees? Which is good? Is 70 rupees per kg is good, or 30 rupees per kg is good for the consumers to buy? 30 rupees per kg is good. Okay, and once again the supply is too much, too high, what the price will become? It might be 5 rupees per kg also. Okay, but this is bad for economy. This deflation is bad for economy, but they don't get GST. See, if you have a moderate price, at least you will get the taxes. If the price of the goods is minimum, is very least, the government can't get any taxes here. Taxes will be paid. Okay, for 5 rupees per kg of onion, you will pay only 0.5 rupees of taxes. For 30 rupees per kg of onion, at least you will pay 3 rupees as a tax. Are you understanding? Okay, at least you will pay 3 rupees at a tax. If it is 5 rupees per kg of onion, you will pay only 0.5 rupees of taxes. Then, which is this, compare here, this 0.5 rupees, that is 0.5 rupees and also 3 rupees, which is good now for the government. 3 rupees is good for the government. They can just get that money and they can utilize it for other purpose. Okay. With the minimum taxes, government can't give the infrastructure, and it can't allocate a lot of funds for development purpose. At least they need a minimal taxes. That is why, see, this least prices is not good for economy. Understood? Even though the consumers will be happy because they can only purchase at 5 rupees per kg of onion. But in order to run the government, in order to develop the nation with the minimal taxes, government can't give the best facilities, government can't give the best development infrastructure and everything. Understood? At least they should have a minimum taxes. That is why the basic is at least they should have the good price. Okay, moderate price. Is there any doubt? Okay. You can write down here. Disinflation is good for economy. Disinflation is good for the economy. Deflation is bad for the economy. For the customer, it is good, but for the government, this is bad for the economy. Okay, as you can see here. Okay. See, if the petrol price is 100 rupees, 101 rupees per liter, okay, this is inflation. Most of the people, they can't afford this 101 rupees per liter of petrol. Okay, if it get decreased to 80 rupees per liter, this is called as disinflation. Okay, if it becomes to 10 rupees per liter, people will be happy, but government can't get much taxes over here. Understood? For 10 rupees, only 5 rupees will be a taxes for the government, 5 to 6 rupees. But for 80 rupees, for 100 rupees, now they are charging round about 70% of the taxes. 70 rupees as a tax they are taking for 1 liter. Only with the help of only 20 rupees or 22 rupees, they are just importing that petrol. I mean the crude oil. Okay, rest 70% of the taxes is levied for petrol by the state and central government. Okay. See here, 70 rupees as a tax for 101 rupee. Here for 80 rupees per liter, it is round about 40 rupees. Sorry, it is 50 rupees. 50 rupees as a tax. Here 5 is as a tax. People can't afford this much. I mean, people can't afford, most of the people, they can't afford the petrol at the rate of 101 rupees. But they can afford at 80 rupees per liter. Most of the customers will be happy if the government sells the petrol at 110 rupees per liter. But government can't develop and it can't give the infrastructure at only by taking the 5 rupees per liter as a tax. Are you understanding? In order to run the government, at least we should have the minimum taxes. That's why it should be a disinflation. Okay. Is there any doubt? Okay. See, that's why petrol don't come under GST. Okay. What is the maximum slab for GST? It is 28%. Okay. For the petrol, they are leaving around about 70 to 72% of the taxes. They are importing the petrol, crude oil at the rate of only 18 rupees or 20 rupees per liter. And after refineries and after transportation of this petrol, it comes around about 101 rupees. 70% it is the tax itself. Okay. Is there any doubt in this? Okay. Next is types of inflation. Just put the heading types of inflation. Types of inflation, that is just write down. First one is creeping inflation. Creeping inflation, walking inflation, creeping inflation, walking inflation, galloping inflation, hyperinflation. Hyperinflation. Okay. First one, creeping inflation. Creeping means a crawling kind. ತೆವಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದು. Okay. This inflation will be in the range of 2 to 3% only. This inflation will be in the range of 2 to 3%. Only 2 to 3% of the price will high. That's it. It is called as creeping inflation. Okay. Think that the milk for 1 liter, if it is 50 rupees, if it becomes 51 rupee or 52 rupee, it is called as creeping. Okay. But we can't calculate, we can't tell that if the price of the milk is been increased, we can't tell it is an inflation. Inflation means a basket of goods or the group of commodities, prices should get increased. Okay, a minimum of 3 to 4 commodities price have been increased, then it is called as inflation. If any of the single commodity price increases, we will not call as an inflation. Okay, we'll just tell it as a price have been raised, etc. Overall, like petrol, gold, okay, petroleum products, gold rate, electricity bill, milk products, and also this some of the vegetable fruits. If these kind generally in group of commodities that gets increased, we will tell it as in India there is a inflation. Okay. Next is walking inflation. This is in the range of 3 to 8%. It is a single digit. This is also single digit. This is also a single digit. Crawling means ತೆವಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದು, walking means ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. That's why they have given that name. Next comes the galloping inflation. Galloping means running inflation. Okay. Galloping means hopping or jumping, running ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. The other names for the galloping is hopping, jumping, running. Okay. Hopping, jumping, running inflation. This is in the range of 20% to 200%. Okay. Range. That is in the range of 20% to 200%. That is double digit from double digit, it might be a double digit or triple digit also. Double or triple digit. Lastly, it comes the hyperinflation. Okay. This inflation will be in the range of million or trillion times. Million or trillion times. Million or trillion times high ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ price. Hyperinflation. This was already had been in Venezuela. Venezuela in 2019, recently only in Venezuela, there was a hyperinflation. What is the importance of Venezuela? Have you heard this name?
The last 5 years.
Okay, then very cheap rate petroleum products there you will get at only 2 rupees per liter, I think, or else 0.5 rupees per liter. If you convert it into a rupee, okay, yeah, if you convert into a rupee, it is just 50 paisa or else at the range of 2 rupees per liter itself. The production of petroleum product is too much there. And also in Zimbabwe, okay, there was a hyperinflation in 2008. In 2008, in Zimbabwe, there was a hyperinflation. Now to consume tea, there they had given a bags of currencies. That much of hyperinflation have been took place in Venezuela and also in Zimbabwe. Okay. Have you got these points? Okay. Then the next comes the inflation targeting. Okay. Just put the heading inflation targeting. Inflation targeting. Okay. See, government of India have told for this RBI that you should target the inflation. You should have the inflation targeting. Okay. That targeting should be in the range, the specific range. The specific range is, see, only at the rate of 4% it can do the inflation. Okay. Inflation. The bandwidth is plus or minus 2. Plus or minus 2%. Okay. Just add minus 2 for this, here plus 2. Okay. It should be in the range of 2% to 6% only. Okay.
It will be given by the banks always to the
Government of India has instructed for the RBI that RBI should control this inflation in India. Who will control this inflation in India? That is Central Bank of India, that is RBI. It is the duty of the RBI to control this inflation in India. Okay, let me give one best example for you how it will control this inflation. Okay, just write down that is 4% plus or minus 2. Okay, this is the healthy range of inflation. Write down, this is the Healthy range of inflation. Healthy range of inflation is 4%, that is plus or minus 2%. In the range of 2 to 6%. In the range of 2 to 6%. Minimum should be 2%. Maximum should be only 6%. For every 6 months, it will just publish the report. The RBI will publish the report. What is the range of inflation? Okay. If it is failing to control the inflation for the three consecutive quarters, then it should give the report for the RBI. Sorry, for the Government of India as well. Okay. See, the quarterly basis means three consecutive quarters means how many, like in 1 year there will be 12 months. 1 quarter is equal to 4 months. 4 into 3, 12. In that 1 year, if it fails to control this inflation target, then it should give the report for the Government of India. Why it has failed to control this inflation? I don't understand. No, 4 3s are 12. Yes, 4 quarters for 3 months. But they have told that more than 6%, if it exceeds 6% for 3 consecutive quarters in that financial year, means in that totally 1 year, if it fails to achieve or if it fails to control this 6%, then it should give the report. Yeah, like April itself. April, May, June, July. Okay, 1 consecutive month. Yes, April, May, June. Yeah, around about 9 months. Okay, if it fails to control for 9 months. Okay. It should give the report regarding why it has been failed to control this inflation. Okay, and also what are the action plans? Yes, it should give the report for the Government of India. If the RBI fails to meet the inflation, if the RBI fails to meet the inflation target, the RBI fails to meet the inflation target, comma, it should give the report. It should give the report for Government of India, that is GOI. Okay. Regarding the reasons for the failure to achieve the target. Next point, remedial actions to be taken by the RBI. Last point, an estimate of the time period within which the target can be achieved. See, the New Zealand was the first country that it has adopted this inflation targeting throughout the world. Okay, this is the first country. The New Zealand was the first country to opt this inflation targeting in 1989 itself. In 1989. New Zealand was the first country to adopt or to opt this inflation targeting in 1989. But in case of India, in 2014, it has adopted this inflation targeting. Based on the report of Urjit Patel Committee. Till then, we didn't had any kind of inflation targeting in India till 2014. This Urjit Patel Committee set up by the RBI. Okay, this Urjit Patel Committee, it was been set up by the RBI. And this Urjit Patel, based on the recommendations of the Urjit Patel Committee, they have opted for this range. Okay, that is 4% plus or minus 2. Healthy range is 2 to 6%. Okay. Means the price can be increased only at the range of 6%. Okay. Is there any doubt in this? No. And just write down the causes of inflation. Put the heading, causes of inflation. Causes of inflation. And measures to check inflation. First one, it is demand pull inflation. How does this inflation occur? Inflation occurs by the help of demand pull. If there is any demand pull inflation, it occurs. Then the second one is if there is any cost push inflation, the inflation occurs. Okay. Demand pull inflation. See here. Inflation occurs based on these two reasons. One is demand pull inflation, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು cost push inflation ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. If you take the example of iPhone 16, okay, once it is been launched, okay, just concentrate here. Let me give an example. iPhone 16 have been launched on Friday. Okay. What the company will do during that time, it don't increase the supply at the initial stage. What is the market tactics is that these manufacturers, these big brands, they will not increase the supply on the first launching day. They will keep it short. Very minimum supply will be available in the market. Okay. ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. And during the first day of launch, most of the people, they wanted to buy this iPhone. Okay. And they just go to the showroom, and in showroom, Owner will tell that, okay, there is a huge demand for that. If you pay extra 10,000 rupees, I will give you the iPhone. Okay, think that if the iPhone price is 1,25,000, okay, and there's a huge queue in front of the showroom, or else the stock is out in the online shopping also. Okay, obviously what you will do, you will go for the showroom itself and you tell him that I will just give you the extra amount, please, I wanted to purchase the iPhone, or else he might demand you 1,35,000 also. Okay, because of the huge demand. Okay. If the demand is increased, what has happened? Price have been increased. Now see, what is the demand? Demand has pulled what? Price. Price is equal to the inflation. What is the definition of price? What is the definition of inflation? Price high. Rise of price of goods and services. The demand has pulled what? Inflation. Okay. If the demand is high, it will pull price. That is what called as demand pull inflation. Pull means ಏನು ಜಕ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಪುಷ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ಸೋದು, ತಳ್ಳೋದು ದೂರ. ಪುಷ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಪುಲ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತು? ಎಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತು. ಓಕೆ, ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತು? ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ನ ಎಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ತಾನೆ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾ. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಹೈ ಆಯ್ತು, ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೇಷನ್. ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಪುಲ್ ಅನ್ಬೇಕು, ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಪುಷ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ because of the demand have been increased. Okay, just write down the definition of the demand pull inflation. I will dictate demand pull inflation. See, these shouldn't be by heart, okay, or else you will get the confusion after certain days. Okay, firstly you should know the example. After getting to know the example, then you can write on your own regarding the definitions. Okay, just write down the definition of the demand pull inflation. It occurs when the supply is less. It occurs when the supply is less and that leads to increase in demand. That leads to increase in demand. That leads to increase in demand. And the result is price gets increase. Price gets increase. Comma, if the price is increased, it is called as inflation. It is called as inflation. Full stop. Just write down this example on your own. Initially anta ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Initially supply of iPhone will be less. Initially supply of iPhone will be less. Written? Is there any doubt in that? Do you got the meaning of why it is will called as demand pull inflation? Okay, in our confusion now? No. Next is the cost push inflation. Cost push inflation. Next one is cost push inflation. See, okay, in order to let me give an example regarding the manufacture of pen. Okay. In order to manufacture the pen, what you need as a raw materials? Okay, just take, in order to produce the pen, you need the raw material. Okay, then what you need? Labors, electricity, machineries, land, labor, machineries, okay, raw materials, all these are needed at the input side in order to produce the pen. Okay. Then once the manufacturer produce the pen, okay, at 2 rupees, okay, per pen, 2 rupees per pen. If the cost of production of one pen, if it is 2 rupees, he will sell it for wholesaler at what price? 5 rupees. 3 rupees will be profit for him. Next, wholesaler will sell for retailers at 7 rupees per pen. These retailers will sell it for customers or consumers at 10 rupees per pen. See here, when you buy or when you purchase the pen, okay, at what price you will be purchasing? 10 rupees. Okay. Suddenly you will go in the next month, okay, and you will ask again, you will purchase the same brand pen. That brand is now costing 12 rupees. Okay. Till now, you used to buy at 10 rupees. Now, if you ask for retailer, he will tell at pay 12 rupees because the price of the pen have been increased. Okay. Why it has been increased is that the cost of production have been increased due to various reasons. Not available of much raw materials, demand have been increased. Again, labor cost have been increased. Think that the labor cost is 300 rupees per day. Some of the laborers have told that we needed 350 rupees per day as a wages. Okay, then it will lead to affect what? Input side. Okay, and electricity units, I mean the price of the electricity have been increased, or various machineries they should bring or you should just import, or else the land price or the rent have been increased. Okay, all this input side have led to the variation. It has increased the price of cost of production for 3 rupees, 3 or 4 rupees. Automatically, if the input side, if it is being increased, obviously at output side also it will get increased. That is what it has called as cost push inflation. See here, cost have been increased. It has pushed what? It has pushed the price. Okay. Cost push inflation. Cost push inflation. Cost push inflation mainly depend on input side itself, whatever the supply side, the raw material, labors, electricity, machinery or land, if the price have been increased at the input side, obviously automatically it will increase the price at the output side also. Just write down the definition for this. This cost push inflation is caused by caused by an increase in an increase in an increase in cost of production inputs cost of production inputs cost of production inputs bracket ಅಲ್ಲಿ write down in a bracket raw materials comma wages of labors comma electricity comma machineries comma land just tell me what you have written. Cost push inflation caused by an increase in the cost of production inputs. Okay, like all this bracket complete. That leads to an increase in the price full stop. The higher the input side cost of production leads to higher the price at the output side okay. Next, effects of inflation. Just put the heading effects of inflation. Very important. Effects of inflation. Okay. First, for lenders and for buyers. Lenders and also for borrowers. Lenders and borrowers. See how. What is meaning of lender? What is the meaning of lender? Lender means a seller. Borrower means who is purchasing. Okay, who is purchasing. See, the effects of inflation, either it might make for one person loss, for one person profit. Let us see for whom this inflation is profit and for whom this inflation is loss. Okay, think that. I have purchased one vehicle. Okay, I have purchased one vehicle. Take it bike. In showroom, okay. Showroom are the buyers or lenders for the customers? They are the lenders for the customers. Okay. Borrower means who is the borrower? Customer. Customer is the borrower. Think that you wanted one new bike. Okay. You will go for the showroom and you will tell that I wanted this bike. But that bike cost 1,70,000 rupees. Okay. And during this time, Okay, at 1,75,70,000 rupees, you have booked that bike, and then the day comes, you will just go for the showroom and you will just purchase that bike. Okay, and during that time, after that, okay, after certain months, the manufacturer of this bike have increased the price for 1,90,000 rupees due to various reason. The raw materials might be increased or the labor charge is increased. As you know, cost of production have been increased due to various reason, and also the demand for this bike have been increased. Okay, most of the customers, most of the people, they wanted to purchase this bike. Obviously, what the manufacturer will do, he will increase the price. Anyway, he knows that he is having lot of demand for his bike in a market. That's why he will increase his price. Now, what he will do? Now see how. Once there is an inflation, it is 1,90,000 rupees. Then, who is into the loss and who is into the profit now? Borrower is into the profit. How so? You have purchased, before inflation, you have purchased at 1,70,000. After purchase, this price have been increased. See, it is not depreciation. This is first and new bike itself. Okay, if you see, this is the August. In the month of August 2025, it is 1,70,000. Think that in November, this price have been increased because of Deepavali. Okay, do you know what is the demand during that time? Okay, in the time of festival, people will buy vehicles. Okay, and can you tell me, after the inflation, who is into the profit? Yes, consumer is a profit. Why? Because you have saved 20,000 rupees. Who is loss? For whom it is loss? Lender. Okay, it is for seller. It is loss of 20,000 rupees. Do you understood now? Okay. During inflation, lender will be into the loss and borrower will be into the profit. This is one of the important question for your UPSC and also for your IB exam. Most of the time they have asked this question. The effect of inflation led to the profit for borrowers, and loss for lenders.
Before the inflation, at the time of inflation, the purchase will not they will think again the price.
No, if you see, the month of August you wanted to purchase, okay, you might think that, okay, in the month of November I will purchase this, but will you regret it or not, that it has been, the price have been increased to 20,000 rupees? You will regret that, array, why didn't I purchase this during the month of August itself? How it will be a loss?
He will get but he will get
Who will gain?
the price will rise.
See, it is after inflation, not before inflation. After inflation only he came to the loss, not before inflation. Okay, after inflation you are into the profit. Okay, just write down after inflation. Affect means post, after. Okay. Is there any doubt? No doubt. Okay. Next. Okay. Let us wind up the class and we will continue tomorrow. Okay, and we will do the revision for 10 minutes and we'll wind up the class. Huh? No, inflation, the prices, different types of what are the measures, which are the measures, and how it will be calculated. Okay, types, indices are there. Okay, consumer price index, WPI, that is wholesale price index. Okay, also there are different types of effects also. Okay, let us learn in detail tomorrow with this SACO, and 70% of the inflation have been covered. And what we have learned today? Human Development Index. Okay, Human Development Index. Who is the founder of Human Development Index?
India.
Yeah. Yes. Mehboob ul Haq and Pakistan economist Mehboob ul Haq and Amartya Sen, Indian economist. Okay. In the year 1990, they have founded this HDI. Okay. And what is the rank of India? 130. Yes. And which are the three indicators for measuring this HDI? Health, education, and yes, health, education, and standard of living. Okay, standard of living. Then comes the global happiness report. Okay, global happiness report. There you should know the India's rank and also what are the criteria for calculating this global happiness report. There are 6 variables in that. Okay, next comes the global hunger index. Okay, you should know the India's rank and also the neighboring countries ranks. Along with that, what are the 4 indicators to calculate this global hunger index? Undernourishment, child stunting, child wasting, mortality rate. Okay, and next comes the 5-year plans. 5-year plan, that report has been given by whom? Which commission? Planning Commission. The Planning Commission was set up in 1950. In the next year itself, in 1951 to till 1956, there was a first 5-year plan. First 5-year plan is also called as Harrod-Domer model. Okay, in that first 5-year plan, which sector was been important? The agriculture was important, and they targeted the agriculture department. I mean agriculture sector. They focused mainly on agriculture sector, and that was been successful. Next comes the second 5-year plan. In that, which sector was been focused? Industrial sector have been focused, and that second 5-year plan is also called as PC Mahalanobis model. Okay, Mahalanobis model. And next they have established 5 steel factories in that era. Okay. Next comes the third 5-year plan. This was been unsuccessful due to war between India, China, and India, Pakistan, and also there was a drought during that time. Next comes the annual or rolling plans. Annual plan. It is only for 3 years. Okay, ee tara enu antandre they have brought. And also you should know Garibi Hatao anta heli in one of the plan they have brought, and also they have brought this self-reliant. Okay, in third 5-year plan, I think third or yes, fourth. Okay, next you should know when the bank have been nationalized in which 5-year plan. Okay, firstly nodi, see, round about in 1969, Indira Gandhi ji, when she was a prime minister during that time, okay, she have overtook 14 banks. These banks were private banks. Okay, she got the ownership of the government of India have got the ownership of these banks, and it became nationalized. Okay, in 1980 again the 6 banks have been nationalized. In 1980, 1969, 14 banks have been nationalized. In 1980 again 6 banks have been nationalized. Okay, and next comes the last 5-year plan was 12th 5-year plan. Okay, and Niti Aayog was been established in the year 2015. What is the full form of Niti Aayog? Yes, National Institution for Transforming India. And who is the chairperson of Planning Commission? Prime Minister. And who are the governing council members? CM, Lieutenant Governors of Union Territories. And there will be full-time members, part-time members, expertise also. Okay. And what is the function of Niti Aayog? It is a think tank and advisory body. Okay. It gives the strategies, the policies, it also monitors the policies, schemes, everything. Okay. And then comes the inflation chapter. Okay. Inflation means general rise of price of goods and services. Only one commodity price have been increased, we will not call it as an inflation. A group of commodities or group of items price increases, then it is called as inflation. Okay. What is the opposite of inflation? Yes, deflation or disinflation. Which is good for economy? Disinflation is good for economy. Which is bad for economy? Deflation is bad for economy. Okay, there are different types of inflation. Which are the different types of inflation? Creeping inflation, walking inflation, galloping inflation, hyperinflation. Creeping inflation will be in the range of 2 to 3%. Walking inflation will be in the range of 3 to 8%. Galloping inflation will be in the range of 20 to 200%. Hyperinflation will be in the range of million or trillion times. Okay. And example for that was Zimbabwe and Venezuela. Yes. Then comes the inflation targeting. What is the healthy range of inflation targeting? 4%. It is plus or minus 2. Between 2 to 6%. Okay. And who will control this inflation? RBI will control the inflation. And after that, okay, measures to check the inflation. Okay. Okay. How the inflation occur? Just write down, scratch that and write down how does the inflation occur. How does the inflation occur? That is demand pull inflation and cost push inflation. How does the inflation occur? Inflation occurs due to the either the demand pull inflation or cost push inflation. What is demand pull inflation? Yes. Next, cost push inflation. Yeah, cost of production or the input side, if it is increases, automatically it leads to the increase in output side. That is, the price of the goods will get increased. Then comes the effects of inflation. Okay. After the inflation or the effect of inflation, who will be profitable and who will be in the loss? Borrower will be into the profit and lender will be into the loss. Okay. Do you got to know all these points? Is there any confusion in any topics of today? No. Okay. Let us continue tomorrow. Thank you.